Hey everybody, it's Mr. Haskell, and I'm back with another Things You Should Know Just by Being Alive. Today I want to talk about John Quincy Adams, the United States' sixth president, a one-term commander-in-chief, and maybe the most qualified person ever to hold the office. But his real legacy, well, it came after the presidency. So, hey, let's go. Born in 1767, John Quincy Adams was the son of President John Adams. So yeah, he grew up around revolutionaries. You know, when he was just 14 years old, he was already working as a diplomat in Europe. And by the time he hit his mid-20s, he served under George Washington, had been appointed as minister to the Netherlands, spoke multiple languages fluently. This guy was basically just a walking resume. Now, as president, not a huge success. He was elected in 1824 through what Andrew Jackson called the corrupt bargain. Quincy Adams only served one term, and his ideas were big: national universities, a modernized infrastructure, even a national observatory, what he called lighthouses in the sky. But Congress wasn't having it. He was blocked at every turn. Here's the twist. John Quincy Adams becomes more influential after leaving the presidency. He ran for a seat in the House of Representatives and won. That's right, a former president went back to being a regular congressman. Just imagine that kind of thing happening today. But he wasn't just warming a seat in the House. He became one of the most vocal opponents of slavery in Congress. And this is the 1830s, 1840s, when politicians were dodging the topic of slavery just left and right. He fought against the gag rule, which banned discussion of slavery in the House. And he worked tirelessly to bring anti-slavery petitions to the floor of the House, even as his colleagues tried to silence him. His most famous moment, he defended the Africans from the Amistad case before the Supreme Court in 1841. He successfully argued for their freedom. That's a former president in his 70s fighting in court for kidnapped Africans to be sold into slavery. That's a legacy. Now, he literally collapsed on the floor of Congress in 1848 and died 2 days later. He was that committed to public service. So why does John Quincy Adams matter? Well, he reminds us that public service doesn't end with high office. He wasn't always popular. He wasn't always successful. But he was principled. And he believed in doing what was right, even when it cost him. So anyway, thanks a lot. Hope you picked up something today about John Quincy Adams. Thanks for watching.